Welcome back everybody to Southside Boy Style. So we're here back at it again. More issues with this 2011 Chevy Equinox. Well, I guess it's not really issues. It's pads, and we need one new caliper to install on the back. And I'm going to walk you guys through it and show you how to change your caliper on the rear and change your rear pads on this 2011 Chevy Equinox. You guys all know this car. You guys all know this car from previous work, from the blend door actuator, from this to that to so many other things. And you guys all know how I feel about these cars. Not my thing. But anyway, I'm going to be changing brakes on it. Another thing is, guys, bear with me today. I'm using all new equipment, new camera, new lenses, mics, etc. We'll see how that goes. If this is better, then we'll continue to use this. If it's not better, then I'll go back to the GoPro. And I'm just going to test this out and see how it is. So stay tuned and I'll get back to you. So if you guys ever wonder why I put this rag here, it's because, sometimes, depending on the position, you don't want to scratch your car or do anything with it. I put a rag there so the handle doesn't touch anything. So, as you can see in right here, I installed new shocks last week. Yeah, the other ones were getting kind of weak, so I installed new shocks and did that. So there's these metal sleeves over these nuts, so I use a 22mm socket to get them off, and even that doesn't work sometimes. So this one is I'm going to put it this way. I'm actually going to try to zoom in on this. If you can see, that's a 14mm. Going to do my best to zoom in on that with this new very expensive lens. And this is for your caliper bolts. I use an extension because the tape, shit. I use an extension because the brake line is right there, so that's why I use an extension. If you guys do, that's up to you, but sometimes they're a bit tight, but not too bad. Most times they're okay. Okay. You guys can let me know if you prefer this camera setup or if you prefer the GoPro. I know the GoPro is 4K, but this particular Canon camera is not 4K. So you guys can let me know if the audio is as good. If the video is as good, I can go back to the GoPro, no problem. I just wanted to test this today. I know people don't normally do this, but I'm actually going to take a picture and show you the setup I'm using here today. So as you can see from that picture, I'm using a wireless, I'm going to call it receiver, I don't know what to call it, to a mic, and a mic that's attached to my, right there to my shirt. So it's all wireless. But for me, I feel that the GoPro is just a little bit more easier to handle, I guess. But we're going to try it this way, and if you guys like this better, then that's what we're going to do. So remember, guys, I have to change that caliper too. And as you can see, the pad is completely worn out, completely gone. So that's no good. None of that's any good. Okay, so guys, here is the new brake caliper. So I'm in Canada. This actual caliper, oh, they give all new nuts and washers. That's pretty decent. You see that? They give all new. That's good. So I'm in Canada, and this specific caliper is $159, and that's if you give the old one back. So you get 50 bucks back for the core. So it's if you don't have the core to give back to them. This is a $200 caliper. Now, trying to do this out here so you guys can see, what's very important about this is you have to fill this with brake fluid .3. So I'm using, this is the kind I'm using right here, as you can see. And I'm just going to fill this up. I'm not used to this camera. I'm used to being able to manipulate mine around a bit more. I don't have that freedom with this camera. It's kind of difficult getting the brake fluid in here. Bear with me, guys. Got to open up the packages here and get this all apart. So I don't know specifically why they give two washers. I think one with that kind of, yeah, so that's why they do it. One goes here, and then one goes for that, and then one goes on the outside. Okay, so I understand that. That makes complete sense to me. So one goes, just lays on there. So when you screw it on, it all actually fits. Kind of difficult doing this like this. Normally, well, so normally, guys, I'd have you sit up a little bit better. It's going to take me some time to get used to this new camera setup. So you got the washer on the top portion of the brake line, and then the bottom portion of the brake line. That way you don't get no leaks. And the last thing you want, guys, trust me, is leaks in any of this. And here are the new pads. I picked them up for $49. The company is called Tech, and they're slotted and chamfered ceramic disc brake pads. and I'm not showing the company that I bought this from because I just had a bad experience with them, so I'm not going to name the company that I bought the caliper from. So guys, I have the line installed and everything is ready to be set up. All I have to do now is take off this caliper bracket, because when you buy this caliper now, it actually comes with your new bracket already installed on the caliper, which is pretty cool. You get a new bracket, which means that all your metal pieces, your sliders and everything are really good. All your clips, everything is new, which I think is pretty decent. They do that. So I'm just going to take off that bracket now. And I should be using my air gun, but there's not a lot of room there. So even with that, it's not a lot of room. I can get probably one, but I won't get the second one. Oh, I got one. The problem here is my shock is in the way, but if I can loosen it, oh, I did loosen it. Okay, that's pretty cool. I am so lucky to get those bolts. Sometimes this is horrible to get. Well, that worked really well. I'm actually really glad of that. So they didn't give me the new bolts. Well, it's not like I really needed them, so it doesn't really matter. So I can reuse the bolts, that's fine. So I'm just hoping you guys still get I'm still hoping that you guys are getting the audio from this, because I don't know what the battery life works on any of this is. I have no idea. Hopefully it's fine. Now, if you notice, I put these sliders on. I wasn't thinking. Don't ask, okay? I didn't need to do this. Okay, I'm going to install this and I'm going to take off the caliper. Too much of the unknown for me with that. I know my head is here. Trust me, I know. Don't need to tell me twice. Okay, that's one bolt. It's kind of tedious doing this. Just gonna put the ratchet on. So guys, I'm going to install everything first, then I'm going to take the caliper off to put the pads on, because I don't like putting the pads on in the one system. And you know, that lets me check those sliders too, these ones right here, and make sure that they're really good. Okay, so remember, I still got to tighten those up, guys. Oh yeah, those sliders are really good. See that? You see how your caliper moves? That's what it's supposed to do. 100% what it's supposed to do. Oh, 12. 14. That's a 13. Here's my 14, guys. I found my 14. I really like that it came with the new bracket, the new sliders, everything. I really like that. That's pretty cool. So guys, as I expected, the camera cut out on me. I don't know where it ended right now at this point, but you can see the new caliper and new bracket is installed. It's fairly easy, and I use brake cleaner and I clean the the rotor as I did it. Let me try to get a better view. So I used brake cleaner and I cleaned the rotor as I done everything. I retightened everything, made sure everything was tightened down. I made sure I retightened the brake line going to the caliper bracket bolts, and the actual caliper bolts that connects to the bracket itself. All that's tightened down. I'm only saying this because I don't know where the camera decided to, it came up and said that it was recording for its duration of time. So that's something I'm going to have to look into and get checked out. So I'm just trying to give you guys a little view of all this so you can see it as it is. So you can see there's a new caliper, there's a new bracket, everything is there, everything's installed. I'm not going to bore you with the other side, and I'm just going to do it. So guys, I'm going to end this video right here. My camera died at some point there. I apologize for that. I'm getting used to this. Obviously there's a setting that I have to keep the duration of recording time going for an extended amount. But anyway, that's how I do the brakes. So we got the new bracket, we got the new caliper, we got all the new bolts and washers to go into the brake line, the brake line that connects to the caliper. I think it's like brass washers, so one's on top, one's on bottom. So one's on top, goes into the line, then there's one on the actual caliper itself, so that you have both of those brass washers right there. And again, I don't know where the camera cut off, but I apologize for that. Once I realized it, I tried to explain to you guys in detail what it did, what was done. And yeah, so it's all pretty simple and nothing's very difficult. I'm not going to bore you guys, like I said, with the other side, because it's the same thing. Now, I don't have to put a new caliper on the other side. I'm just putting new pads. You just saw me install the pads on that side. You don't need to see it on the other side. So thanks a lot, guys, for watching this video. I apologize for this new camera equipment. I'm not sure how this is going to go, but we'll see. Maybe I'll go back to the 4K GoPro. I don't know. For me, the GoPro is easier to get around, easier to do things with, and I can clamp it anywhere, as opposed to this big expensive camera. It's kind of like stationary. So I'm not sure, but that maybe I'll use two cameras. Maybe I'll just merge one with the other. I don't know. Just trying to make it better for you guys, and if something is not better, then I'm not going to use it. As for the 65 Impala, right now I have a 57 Corvette transmission installed, a high-speed performance clutch installed. The car is actually running right now, but there's so much work that I have to do with it. I'm actually waiting on a linkage kit. So right now this car is 3 on the tree, which it's on the steering wheel. And all the linkage is just old and cruddled and no good. I'm waiting on these parts to come so I can actually shift the gears in it. And it's going to be a while for this one, but there will be work being done with it. You can leave me a like right there. Or if you want, you can leave me a subscribe right there. And you see how stressful it is for me today with this new camera setup, this microphone, all of those things. You can just buy me a coffee, because I'm probably going to need one after this video is done. It's going to take a lot of getting used to for this high-tech camera equipment. I'm a car guy. I'm not a camera guy. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. I'll see you on the next one.